So you want to start backpacking, but you're brand new to it, you don't know where to begin, and you don't know the processes behind what is all involved in backpacking. Hey guys, I'm Devin. I'm with Backcountry Exposure. Very excited to be sharing this video today because this is something I'm very passionate about. Now, this is part of the video series that I'm calling How to Backpack. And I'm excited to share this because this is a way for me to just share my experiences and my perspective of what I feel goes into the sport of backpacking. We're gonna focus on 3 specific things today that I feel are a big part of what defines your style of backpacking, the type of system that you decide to carry on your back. Now, when I get into this, I don't want people to feel like when I describe these different circumstances that it is something that you have to be married to. For me personally, I fall into all 3 categories of what I'm about to explain. So what we're going to talk about today is first, ultralight backpacking versus traditional backpacking. Second, we're going to talk about base camp or destination backpacking, and then we're going to talk about through hiking and the differences between those 3 things. So let's go ahead and get into ultralight backpacking and talk about what that is. Now, ultralight versus traditional is defined when you have a base weight of your pack, which is all of your gear minus consumables. Consumables being your water, your food, and your fuel. So variable weight items that change depending on your use throughout the trip. So ultralight backpacking is your base weight, which is going to be 10 pounds or less. Now, if you are new to backpacking, that can be a pretty daunting thing to accomplish. I have been backpacking for 15 plus years, and the gear that I have acquired over the years have allowed me to get to a base weight of 11 pounds of my personal system that I have, but that still allows me to carry some comfort items where going under 10 pounds, you are starting to ditch some of the comfort items that you may carry with you. So ultralight backpacking, just to sum it up real quick, 10 pounds or less of a base weight. Everything else above that is going to fall into the lightweight category or just a traditional style of backpacking where you are carrying basically the essential gear that you need, but you're not overly concerned about the weight that you're carrying. Now, traditional probably is going to fall into the weight range, total weight range of about 35 pounds to 45 pounds, which for me, that is a lot of weight to be carrying on your back, and I would advise as you start purchasing gear to focus on getting your weight down into more of the 15 to 25 pound range so that you can still enjoy yourself out on the trail, do a lot of mileage, but still be comfortable and not have to spend a crazy amount of money to make that happen. So that leads me into the second thing that we're going to talk about, which is destination backpacking or base camp backpacking. What I mean by this, and this is a term that I have kind of created for myself to explain this, but destination backpacking is just what it sounds like. You are literally picking a destination, one specific area that you're going to set up a base camp at and spend all of your nights that you are there, whether it's 1 night, 3 nights, 7 nights, whatever it is, in that one location. From there, you're going to do day hikes or different types of activities around that base camp. I love picking a very specific spot to go and just hang out, enjoy myself, and feel like I can be a little more comfortable, a little more relaxed, a little more luxurious in what I plan to do. Most people, when they first start backpacking, I feel like are going to fall into that destination backpacking scenario. So let's go ahead and talk about the third thing, which is through hiking. Now, through hiking is a very specific style of backpacking where out on the trail, each night you are spending in a different location. And the idea behind this is you're hiking from point A to point B, and the concept being that I'm going to cover a lot of mileage, spend a lot of time going through different terrain, or I just want to see how far I can go, or it's going to be a scenario like hiking the Pacific Crest Trail or the Appalachian Trail, where you are hiking a lot of miles, over 2,000 miles in those instances. So the benefit to through hiking is you get to cover a lot of mileage over that amount of time. Through hiking for me is kind of a tedious thing, not in a negative sense, but it does require a lot of energy, a lot of focus, and a lot of preparation, because you've got to know all of the specifics of the area that you're going to, because you've got to plan, where am I going to camp this night? I've got to know the type of mileage that I need to cover each day that I'm on the trail. Where destination backpacking, I am not necessarily going to be hiking a lot of mileage. I could only backpack half a mile in and then do some day hikes up to a peak or something, and that's going to give me my backpacking experience. Where an example for me of a through hike I've done is the Paria River Canyon here in Utah, and we did about 50 miles on that trip, and we needed to know ahead of time what is going to be our place of where we're going to camp, how many miles are we planning to do that day. And the other benefit of through hiking is it allows you to be a little more liberal in the gear that you take with you. Meaning that you're going to be very specific on the gear, because you're going to be hiking upwards of maybe even 20 miles a day, and you need to have a lighter backpack so that you can be able to accomplish that amount of mileage each day. So just some things to think about. Now that we've covered those 3 items, ask yourself the question, what type of backpacker am I? Do I think I am, or do I want to be? For me, I am a hybrid of all 3 of those things. Whatever you decide to do is what needs to work for you. You don't have to satisfy what other people think. Other people are going to say, oh my gosh, you have a base weight of 25 pounds, you're doing it wrong. Don't listen to things like that. Pick a system that works for you, try gear out, make it work, and you will be able to have a great experience out on the trail. Just try to decide what type of backpacker you want to be and the types of trips that you want to go on to decide the gear that you may need to take with you. Please submit your questions, your comments, things that you might add to this, but I really appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. There are going to be plenty more videos of this how-to backpack series coming out. So hope you have an awesome day. Thanks again for watching.